All right, so let's take a look at the universe. It's a big subject. All right, so we got a bunch of questions here. Is Earth a star? What is a terrestrial planet? Can we name the four terrestrial planets? The two planets that are ice giants. How many days does it take Earth to complete one full rotation around the sun? What is the galactic center and where is that located? And the sun is mostly composed of what element? Okay, so that's not too bad. A lot of questions in this section do end up showing up with the Earth and Moon, so that's probably the biggest section. But we'll start with layers of Earth's atmosphere. The troposphere is the lowest layer of Earth's atmosphere. It extends from Earth's surface to an average height of about 12 kilometers. The stratosphere is the second lowest layer of Earth's atmosphere. The mesosphere is third. Thermosphere is the second highest, and the exosphere is the outermost layer of Earth's atmosphere. The ozone layer, or also sometimes called the ozone shield, is a region of Earth's stratosphere that absorbs most of sun's ultraviolet radiation. It contains high concentrations of ozone in relation to other parts of the atmosphere. The Big Bang Theory. This is the origin of the universe. The Big Bang Theory is the prevailing cosmological model for the universe from the earliest known periods. And now we'll jump into Earth and Moon. During a solar eclipse, the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, cutting off the sun's light. A lunar eclipse occurs when the moon passes directly behind the Earth into its shadow. The moon is about 400 times smaller than the sun, but it also just happens to be about 400 times closer. The result is that from Earth, they appear to be about the same size. It is important to know that Earth and Sun are both stars. A planet is an object that orbits a star. The moon orbits the Earth, which is a star. The moon is moving approximately 3.8 centimeters away from our planet every year. It is estimated that it will continue to do so for about 50 billion more years. There are two bulges in the Earth due to the gravitational pull that the moon exerts. The bulges move around the oceans as the Earth rotates, causing high and low tides around the globe. The moon has much weaker gravity than Earth due to its smaller mass, so you would weigh about 1/6 or 16.5% of your actual weight on Earth. The fact that the moon has no atmosphere means that the surface of the moon is unprotected from cosmic rays, meteorites, and solar winds, and has huge temperature variations. Approximately 29 and a half days elapse from one full moon to the next. Take note that this is longer than the time it takes for it to complete its cycle of motion through the stars, which takes 27 and a half days. Earth completes one full revolution around the sun in 365 days, or 1 year. You would also like to know Kepler's laws of planetary motion, and that they account for how the Earth moves fastest when it's closest to the sun. Remember, because the Earth's orbit is elliptical, it is not always the same distance from the sun. Okay, and then as we jump into the sun is mostly composed of hot gas. Most of this gas is hydrogen, about 70%. So that was one of our questions, right? Um, Hydrogen, 70%, helium, 28%. Carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen make up maybe 1.5%. And the other 0.5% is made up of small amounts of other elements such as neon, iron, silicon, magnesium, and sulfur. Okay, for the terrestrial planets, there are four terrestrial planets, and they are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. A terrestrial planet is primarily made of rock and metal. The outer planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And yes, you do need to know all 8 of these and which ones are terrestrial and which ones are the outer planets. Discovered in 1930, Pluto was long considered our solar system's 9th planet, but after the discovery of similar intriguing worlds deeper in the Kuiper Belt, Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet. Dwarf planets share their orbits around the Sun with other objects, such as asteroids or comets. The most well-known dwarf planets are Ceres, Pluto, and Eris. An ice giant is a giant planet composed mainly of elements heavier than hydrogen and helium, such as oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur. There are 2 known ice giants in the solar system, and they are Uranus and Neptune. Asteroids are minor planets that orbit the Sun. And then we get into the Big Dipper and the Milky Way, and then we're done. The Big Dipper is found in the constellation Ursa Major. A constellation is a group of stars forming a recognizable pattern. Hydra is a southern hemisphere constellation that can be seen from latitudes between positive 54 degrees and negative 83 degrees, and covers a surface area of 102.5 degrees, making it the largest star constellation in the night sky. Virgo is one of the 12 zodiacal constellations, takes up 3.138% of the southern hemisphere sky, and can be seen from latitudes between positive and negative 80 degrees. Orion is a prominent constellation located on the equator and visible throughout the world. The Milky Way is a barred spiral galaxy. The Milky Way is estimated to contain 100 to 400 billion stars. A barred spiral galaxy is a spiral galaxy with a central bar-shaped structure composed of stars. The other shapes of galaxies are spiral, elliptical, and irregular. The Milky Way is the one you are most likely to be tested on. And then finally, the galactic center is the rotational center of the Milky Way. There is strong evidence consistent with the existence of a supermassive black hole at the galactic center of the Milky Way. Okay, and so then we get back to the questions we started with. So at this point, really what I would recommend, pause the video, see if you can answer these questions. If you get caught up on any of them, go back into the video and make sure you can answer all these questions.